Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Lost Galaxy episode Journey Ends. So this is the season finale, and boy, what a season finale it was. It was a three-parter. This was the first time in Power Rangers history they ever did a three-parter season finale. And it might just be the only time. I don't recall any other Power Rangers season doing that. And they went all out. Like they went all out. It was extraordinary. The CGI was beyond good, especially for that time, and it still holds up today. It's still a whole lot better than most like CGI stuff you see nowadays, where CGI is supposed to be a whole lot better, but it's not. But I was just very amazed at how good it was. The stakes were extremely high in this season finale, similar to that of In Space. And later on, like Power Ranger seasons. But the stakes were very huge for this little colony, Terra Venture, and the Rangers that occupy it. Because, at this point in time, they couldn't contact the Space Rangers because they were far away, and all the other Rangers had lost their powers at that time. And to us audience, they were the only current Power Rangers operating, and so they have very few allies and stuff. The only allies they really have is the military force that is on Terra Venture. And Trakina, she is out for cold-blooded revenge. Like, she has had it. Like, that's one of the things I always liked about Trakina. Trakina, she started off as like this bratty, like hench girl type thing because she was a princess. But then, she always wanted to prove herself and get higher up in the ranks. But she couldn't because everybody else was more powerful than her until she started becoming more and more powerful. And then her father died. And then she just went on this huge, like, revenge trip. And, she became one of the best villains in Power Rangers history. The Rangers and DBI are straight from the Lost Galaxy, and well, Trakina ain't having this crap. And so she already killed Mutiny in that episode where Mike lost his powers, and we see the demise of DBI, which really sucks because I always liked that dude. He had a great design, he had a cool voice. The voice actor sadly has passed away, may he rest in peace. And so he has decided, because he's trying to lie his way out of it, like he always does. Like, he's one of the cooler, like, more ruthless generals we've had in Power Rangers history. And so when she wants him destroyed, he takes a run for it and he goes into the cocoon, or at least he tries to. She tries to stop him and they both go inside. And we see this somewhat cheesy, somewhat cool metamorphosis between the two. They didn't have much CGI for it, but it's all right. And it's all right for that time era and everything. And then next thing you know, only one of them comes out. Or is it? They have merged together and everything. And so, this was really freaky because she's now half bug looking, half human looking lady, half cyborg. Her voice has changed, her appearance has slightly altered and stuff. She has a couple of deviants like weapons and stuff like that. Her tentacles are more tentacly and everything. And she's a lot more ruthless and a lot more meaner looking. And since she has a lot more of his edge, she's a lot more evil now than what she was before. The Rangers are in their civilian form and they are on Terra Venture. And the captain dude has decided, you know what? Their engines are shot. They're running out of supplies. They can't refuel. It'll take forever to repair all the engines. They only have one left. So they decide they're gonna land on a nearby planet. And when you see the nearby planet, it's very lush, it's very cool, and there's all kind of vegetation and stuff. Now, me, I haven't seen this planet in like forever, and I should have picked up on it, and many other fans should have picked up on it too. I understand why Maya didn't and stuff. As for like Alpha and Damon and like Kai, they should have picked up on it, but they did not. Even the other Rangers probably, or like Leo, should have like picked up on it for like a glance or something. But I didn't, and it's kind of shameful. And so they're all happy about landing on a new planet, talking about beaches with no footprints, clean air, like no like no nothing, just like vegetation, water, sand, and like animals and stuff. And they finally done it. They have finally made it to their destination and everything, and they are thrilled beyond belief. And it has to be like a momentous occasion. Think about it. Like, what if people on Earth had to like leave Earth for whatever reason, and we're traveling the cosmos, and then we find a new planet? Just think, like, just like they said, like beaches with no footprints and stuff. Like, that's amazing, and you're the first ones to do that. And so Kai tells them, straight up, he has to like, go so he can land the ship in the morning and stuff. Well, as everybody's getting happy to land there and all this other stuff, Trakina ain't having that crap. And she attacks Terra Venture and her spaceship bug thingy and stuff. We get a great visual of like Trakina's spaceship hovering above the dome of Terra Venture. And it's a great visual, man. Like, it's a very great, especially back in those days. And it still holds up to the day. So the Rangers have no idea what the world they're going to do, but Leo has a plan. And he takes Damon with him. In their civilian clothes, they steal a bomb from the armory and stuff. So next thing you know, we see one of the most coolest scenes of them all. Through the scanners of Trakina's like spaceship and everything, we see Damon morphed as the Green Ranger, hailing them down or flagging them down, whatever. And she's all like, destroy them, go to that area. And so the ship is going to that area, and he's like, crap, dude, why I gotta be like, the guinea pig type person? So he hightails it. And this once again is a great visual. Man, I have to give it up. Thank you to the Mystic Knights of Terranog. Your show was cool and interesting, and you deserve a lot longer than what you got. But hey, your sacrifice gave Lost Galaxy the budget it needed. And that budget was well spent. So this is a great visual. So Damon's running through like the corridor. The little tentacle things are trying to chomp him up. There's glass shattering everywhere. It's a long hallway. And we see Leo just hiding with the bomb in his hand. And it's an even greater visual because we see Damon's reflection on his visor of his helmet. Once Damon gets out of harm's way, Leo sets the device, and then boom, like the ship, like it doesn't blow up like completely, but it's really damaged, Trakina's ship and everything. And that was pretty much the first part of like the first of three finale eps. And then in the second, Trakina had damaged their last, like, engine. So now they have to take the shuttles to, like, the planet and stuff. No big deal, right? Well, Trakina still has her army and everything. And not only does she still have, like, her army, she's gonna sacrifice all of her Stingwingers. Now, this is the different, like, almost like the last era of the Saban era. And so with her, she don't make her own monsters. She just recruits monsters that are somewhere around in space, or at least her generals do. So she doesn't have an army of monsters, but she still has Stingwingers. And she puts bombs on all of them. And so when she put bombs on all of them, like this really upsets Villamax and everything. He's all like, "How can you sacrifice your entire army? Like they work for you and everything." She don't care, and she gives a big, huge, like evil boss speech and everything. And we see thousands of Stingwingers. And so, like, next thing you know, she sends them to Terra Venture to sacrifice them all. The Rangers morphed and everything. They try to take them out hand by hand as best as they can with their weapons. It is a huge, epic battle of just the Rangers and stuff. Not as epic as the in space last battle with them fighting all, like, the bad guys, but it's cool nevertheless. And the Rangers are tired, they're but they're still fighting that good fight, and that's what you gotta love about them heroes. And so the two Stratoforce and Centaurus Megazords, they want to help out too. But they're just like punching and smacking and blasting as many of them as they can. And so with that, they are like getting swarmed, and the Stingwingers are attaching themselves to the Zords. And so she gives the order, and boom, they all just like explode and they destroy those two Zords. It's devastating because those two Zords are sentient beings, you know what I'm saying? Now, as for the Xenon Carrier Zord, we don't know where he's at and everything. And so the Rangers are devastated that their Zords are gone, or at least not their personal Zords, but their friend Zords. So they're still fighting, and Leo, he's like, he's gonna fight to his last breath, and he takes out like the remaining Stingwingers along with like the Rangers. When like the Stingwinger army was like attacking everybody, Villamax did something that was really interesting. He finds that of a little girl, and he doesn't destroy her. Instead, she gives him a flower. This makes him very happy and everything. Or not so much happy, but at least beside himself. He doesn't know how he wants to feel, but it does make him happy and stuff. Because this dude always had a code of honor. That's why I always liked about him, other than that of his design. And so when he heads back to Trakina and everything, she wants to know, like, well, this doesn't happen yet. And so, like, I forget, I'm getting like ahead of myself. And so, the Rangers, they're helping the civilians, like, get on the shuttles, and so at the GSA. And so everybody's heading out to the planet in the shuttles. And we see Bulk and the professor for the last, or not, well, one of the last times. At least we see the professor for one of the last time. May he rest in peace. That hilarious man. Man, too many people are dying in Power Rangers. And so, like, Trakina, she's just as ruthless as any other villain. She's about to shoot down the shuttles and everything. And Villamax tells her, you can't do that. That's dishonorable and everything. Those are like civilians. Those aren't the Rangers, but Trakina don't care and stuff. And this literally lets you know, Trakina is probably the most evil out of all the bosses. Because even with all the other ones, yeah, the other like alien bosses, they would have killed children too, but we never saw them about to attempt it. Trakina, on the other hand, she don't care if there are kids on those shuttles. She gonna blow them up. Her and Villamax get into like a huge fight, and she kills him and everything. And this devastates that one alien dude who's Villamax's friend, who's in that little barrel and everything. And so she's about to literally destroy those shuttles, and boom, here come the Rangers, morph with the helmets off, and the Astro Mega Ship. It was a cool scene, they're trying to stop her as best as they can. And so her ship is like, just like tearing up and messed up and everything like that. And the Rangers, they're just like a blasting. And so, but she's trying to get like the last, like, what. And so she clamps down on them. And so Leo has the idea, well, if she's attached to us, we just hit the self-destruct button and everything. And Damon doesn't want to do that because, he was one of those people who like was helped fixing the ship up and was in the museum and stuff like that. But he tells them, like it's the only way and everything because they can't, like, their ship is messed up and her ship is messed up. Might as well just blow them up and everything. So Damon does it, man. He hit that self destruct. And it's like, no, not the Astro Mega ship. Like, no, that's like a cool ship. Not to mention, what about the In Space Rangers? What they supposed to use as a Megazord now? And so he hits the self destruct. They're finna bail, but they can't. Their jet jammer bay is like blocked and everything. So they like clear it out and they all head on the jet jammers. But Alpha is, missing in the engine room. So they go and they rescue him. Ay, 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 ay. And so, like, I love how the fact that they're not even gonna leave Alpha behind, because even though Alpha is an android and everything, like they're still like their friend, and he still is sentient. But guess who they leave behind? Oh my God, Deca, the AI sentient being Deca. They leave her program behind. They could have grabbed her program. They could have grabbed her hard drive or soft drive, whatever you call it. They could have grabbed her, man. Ah, the voice of Deca. I always liked Deca. She was cool. So they head on out, but the explosion is too much for them and it throws them off course. Alpha is like flung and everything. And Leo, since like, he was flung as well. Well, at least they got Trakina's like ship base and everything. But the Rangers are scattered. But then the Rangers, they find themselves on like, the planet. And so they find Alpha in like a tree or a bush or something. But there's no Leo. Like, where is Leo and stuff? Well, we see Leo at the end of the episode. He is damaged. His jet jammer is damaged. He is like out of it and stuff. He is on the moon and everything. At least I think he's on the moon. For Trakina's little base, I think it landed on like a moon or something like that. So now that the other Rangers and like the civilians of Terra Venture, they trying to make camp and everything, they're desperately looking for Leo, but they have no idea where he's at. And so Leo, when he comes to, he sees a figure like, walking, I guess, I think, towards like, out of the, I don't know, I can't remember. It's been a good while since I watched. I watched this a couple of months ago. I started the recording, and then I got caught up with like October stuff and then other stuff and stuff. And I think he sees somebody walking from like, Trakina's place or something like that. Something catches his attention. What catches his attention? Trakina, she's badly damaged. She's about to die. And her last moments of life, she goes back into the cocoon and she fulfills her metamorphosis. Now she comes out as this green, gooey, nasty praying mantis. What is special about this costume is that Amy Miller, she has said before that like, this was the original Trakina outfit and everything. This green looking praying mantis type outfit. But it was way too bulky and heavy for her to move in and stuff. And so they decided, okay, we're gonna just redesign your outfit. They gave her a sexier, slinker black outfit that showed off her skin and everything like that, and more facial features and stuff that she can like, like an actual like helmet type piece where she can put on. And so like that's when we get our cool black and purplish looking Trakina outfit. But to think she would have been walking around in this green monstrosity and everything. But I can't even talk. Whew. The costume is awesome. I'm about to say the costume. The costume is awesome and everything, And so, but it's her stunt double who's in that, and they had to alter it because her stunt double is shorter than her. And so She uses her staff to power up Terra Venture, and she sends it on a course towards that of the newly found planet. This is what catches Leo's attention, and he goes into, like, the yeah, that's what it is, because she went from her spaceship thing to that of Terra Venture, and it catches his attention. And so now he's on, like, Terra Venture and stuff. And so this alerts the GSA, and Mike finds out. And because they can see Terra Venture hurling towards the planet. At that speed, it will basically hit them like an asteroid and everything. And so he alert the Rangers. And so they hit the jet jammers and they go back to Terra Venture. It's funny. Like, the thing that was their secondary home from Earth is now about to destroy their third home. Yeah, that gotta be some ironic mess right there. And of course, the people, they're devastated because they just made it, but they can't get rid of Trakina. And the humans of Terra Venture, they are tired of Trakina and everything. They wanna be left alone. They went to that other world to find peace because Earth is constantly getting attacked by aliens. And so, like, Leo, he morphs in a very cool sequence as he's falling out of, like, the space lab thing, the science lab, because she threw him out. And so he morphs and he sees Trakina. And so at some point, the Rangers, they show up. And they can't believe that what they see is Trakina. Well, it's an epic fight. A great, amazing fight between all the Rangers and Trakina. And of course, the Magna Defender is not there because his powers were destroyed. And Trakina is too strong for them. She's taking them all out one by one in hand-to-hand combat with all that of her new powers. Her little whip thing. I think she ties, like, Kai up and slings him around. It is, like, huge. So the three Guy Rangers, they hop on the astral cycles and they're gonna try to take her out this way, but she takes them out, except for Leo, of course, because he's the leader. And he transformed his astral cycle into his Gantula cycle, and that huge fireball just, like, busts through Trakina. She's awakening now, so that's great. And so, but Leo, man, he ain't gonna let up. He is following her to the bitter end. And so they fight some more, but then he uses his battleizer. I love his battleizer. I don't care what I don't know, it was some video I saw about ranking a battleizer, and they did not like his. I do not care. I like his battleizer. It's a cool mech suit. And so, an armored little mech suit. And so, like, it's very, like I said before, it looks like that thing from the first Terminator movie. No, not Terminator. RoboCop. It looks like that robotic looking thing from the first RoboCop movie that RoboCop had to take out and everything. It's so cool looking. And so, like, he's using all his powers and stuff like that, and he grabs onto her and he brings her to him and everything. And so she literally, like, punks him out, talking about, what are you gonna do? And he's all like this. And next thing you know, it was the most shocking thing ever. He detonated his suit so it can destroy her and him along with it. But thankfully, it did not destroy him. It just destroyed her. And so, like, the Rangers, they go to Leo. He's battered and bruised, and his helmet is half destroyed. And we see his eyeball sticking out as he gives a thumbs up to him. And it's just like, dude, you're like an awesome Red Ranger. This man will literally put his life on the line and everything. And so, like, but there's a problem. Terra Venture is still heading towards the planet. And they don't know how they're gonna stop it. Well, the Galacta Beasts, they come up and everything. It's like, oh, where y'all been? They didn't want to help the Stratoforce and, like, Centaurus destroy Stingwingers. They got on out of there. But they came back to finally stop, like, Terra Venture in their Megazord form. It crash lands, but it doesn't destroy the planet. The people are happy and everything. And so when the Rangers are there on the planet and the people are, like, thanking them, Maya sees one of her Galacta beasts and is calling to her, so she hightails it and stuff. And the other Rangers they follow. We get a cool like D helmet morph scene, but they're still in their costumes. I love it when they're in their costumes with their helmets off. There was one Power Ranger season that did not do that. I think it was Jungle Fury. I don't understand why, and it was just so sad not to see them with their helmets off. And so, like, they probably never even wore. I know the stunt doubles they wear the costumes, but I don't think the cast has ever worn those Jungle Fury like outfits. Anyways, when she goes to like a bushel of grass and everything, she pulls it away and there's an altar. No, no, no. She pulls it away and there's like a person. It is the dude, like the older dude of like, from Miranoi, and they can't believe it. They landed on Miranoi, and I should have recognized that planet. I understand why Maya didn't, because it was her first time seeing her planet from like space view. But the other Rangers saw it, so they should have seen it. Except for Corone, but the other one should have seen it. Or the censor should have been like, oh, this is Miranoi and everything. So that's kind of always a weird, odd thing for me. And so she realizes, she landed on her home planet and she pulls away the bushes and stuff from like the altar. She takes out her Quasar saber and tells the other Rangers their quest is complete. And, they fulfill like, the destiny and everything. And she instructs them that it's time to give up the power. And so they do. And they put their Quasar sabers back in the stone one by one. And it's a very sad scene because, like, no, they're giving up their power. That devastates me in Power Rangers finale when they give up their powers and stuff. But it gives great closure to something, And that's one of the things that been bugging me about, like, the like Hasbro Neon Saban era where you constantly seeing past Rangers just show up in their powers and it's like, wait, hold up, your powers were destroyed. Like, how and why do you have them and everything? And it kind of takes away from the moment of them losing their powers or giving it up. It's no longer that closure. It's kind of like the Superman reborn thing in comics. He died by Doomsday, and then when comic started to tank, they brought him back to life, and now everybody in comics can come back to life from the death. And so Leo is the last to give up his saber. Him and Corone, they didn't pull theirs out, but it's a momentous occasion. Well, I think Mike is around with them too. And so after they do that, some sparkly magic stuff, and then it heals that of the planet. It restores the people that are still in stone. And I always remember, like, how in the world did the planet regrow, like, its foliage and everything? Well, life always finds a way. Even when a planet is destroyed, couple of 100,000 years, it starts to regrow again. But in their case, it's speeded up. With now the jungle people back to life and everything, hanging out with the Terra Venture Earth people, the Galacta Beast, they're partying in the sky, man, with fireworks and everything. And then the season ends. And I was just like, oh man, it was just a good show. I loved it so much. And then we got the preview for the next Power Ranger season. Lightspeed Rescue, talking about the Rangers are like headed back to Earth and like a new team and all of those. I'm like, oh cool, is it the Galaxy Rangers? Nah. And stuff. But I like them just as much. And I like Lightspeed Rescue. And so I will be doing a rundown season review of the entire Lost Galaxy. Why is my favorite, stuff like that. Because it's the one Ranger season I spent the most time with. I wasn't expecting to take the most time with, but I did. Now of course in other Ranger seasons and stuff, we see the aftermath of what happened to Lost Galaxy. Trakina, surprise, surprise, did not die. And so she was badly wounded in her little mantis form and stuff. So she hits the Earth. And the actress did not return. So it's the stunt double. And Leo did not really return. He was there for a couple of scenes. He got upset with management and then he left. And then a voice double had to do his stuff. And so the Rangers, they helped out the Lightspeed Rangers and stuff. Bulk somehow has come back to Earth in Wild Forest. It's never explained how, but he has reunited with Skull. And then, of course, the Galaxy Rangers. Oh, crap. I forgot to mention the most craziest part at the end of the finale. Kendricks came back. She came back from the dead and everything. And so she was inside her saber the entire time, healing her wounds from when she sacrificed her life. And it's because the actress who played her had to leave because she had cancer, but she beat it and everything. And so when they return in Lightspeed Rescue, is now Kendrick's taking up the mantle once again. However, the Rangers re-show back up in the Mega Force finale, and it's only Leo, Damon, and Corone has retaped up the mantle. Don't know where the other one's at because they were not going to pay their own fee to go to New Zealand and stuff. Saban is so cheap. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.